As Flupont regained consciousness, his eyes widened in alarm to find himself tied to a chair with Kepark and a Gießen female, Patricia, standing before him. Patricia wasted no time in pressing Flupont for answers, her tone firm and unwavering. "What are Light Crusher's guild assassins doing on Tark-Go-D station?" she demanded, her gaze piercing. Flupont's lips twisted into a sneer as he spat out a curse, refusing to cooperate. Sensing the impasse, Kepark stepped forward, his voice low and threatening. "If you don't start talking, there's no reason for us to keep you alive," he warned, his eyes narrowing with determination. Flupont relented slightly as he continued, "I accepted a private contract from Tilnum." Kepark snarled, "That is obvious. We want to know the mark." Flupont divulged almost comically. "A former human marine named Ford, currently employed as a first mate on the cargo vessel Muntun Yada. Now that you have your answers, can you release me now? That vessel is scheduled to dock at Myplok 3 on the edge of this system in about 144 kiloseconds. Since you obviously didn't intend to kill me, can you release me already?" Patricia's curiosity piqued as she questioned, "What is so important about Ford? What significance is there?" Flupont smirked with a smart reply. "I only had enough information to get the job carried out and collect my percentage of the credits." Kepark scoffed. "He lies. The Light Crushers never take a human mark. Do I have to cut the truth out of him?" "How do you know that?" Patricia inquired. Kepark answered as he pointed up to the top right of the room. "That's a story for another time." Flupont injected with another smile. "Who said anything about us taking out the mark? You know just as well as I do, Kepark, which you look great for someone who is dead, by the way. You know an unregulated contract when you see it. Why do you think we are out here? There are easy credits to be made when you pawn off a bad deal to a small desperate guild willing to give up a 20% commission. Kind of like the Yonix Assassins Guild." "I remember them. Who was their last member again?" Kepark kicked Flupont to the ground before Patricia intervened, ordering Kepark to step back. "Why would a Gießen be interested in these matters?" Flupont questioned, his tone laced with genuine curiosity. "And why are you still alive, Kepark? Why are you taking orders from a Gießen?" "That's none of your concern," Patricia retorted, her gaze defiant. "Now tell us who ordered the contract on Olka of the Ossine," Patricia asked with a firm tone. Flupont gave her a confused look as he hissed, "That's news to me. How should I know that?" Patricia asked one last question as she began to walk near the door. "Then you don't know anything else?" Seconds after Flupont answered, "No," a sharp pain entered through the back of his skull, then darkness consumed him. Kepark holstered his sidearm as he questioned Patricia. "After I get rid of the body, do we know where we are going next?" Patricia simply replied as she stepped out of the cargo bay. "We leave in 30 minutes. Hurry this up." As they boarded the ship, Patricia wasted no time in questioning Trelk about the proximity of his contact to Myplok 3. Trelk's response was terse but promising. They weren't far from the designated location. Patricia immediately issued orders for Trelk to set a course for Myplok 3 and to expedite their journey as much as possible. Trelk nodded in acknowledgement, his fingers flying over the controls as he plotted their course. "I have punched in the coordinates. The system calculated us arriving in just over 70 kiloseconds. That is as fast as we can go without attracting any unwanted attention." As the ship surged forward into the depths of space, Patricia and Gromp retreated to a sealed briefing room to relay their findings to Alliance intelligence. Meanwhile, Kepark embarked on his own investigation, scouring the ship until he stumbled upon a hidden compartment containing sealed containers. With a sense of foreboding, he examined the contents, his suspicions growing with each passing moment. Determined to confront Trelk, he sought out the reptilian leader, his mind racing with questions. Entering Trelk's quarters, Kepark wasted no time in demanding answers. With the door sealed behind them, he grabbed Trelk by his vest and pinned him to a wall, his voice low and accusatory. "I found a jar of avian toxin on board," he stated bluntly, his eyes boring into Trelk's. "The same toxin that killed Olka. Why did you kill your own contact?" Trelk's expression remained stoic as he met Kepark's gaze, his demeanor unyielding in the face of scrutiny. "It was the only way to keep our presence in this system secret," Trelk finally admitted, his voice tinged with resignation. "And to ensure that both of us remain valuable assets to the Alliance." Kepark's brow furrowed in disbelief, his mind reeling with the implications of Trelk's actions. With a grim, low voice, Trelk calmly explained their situation. "Think about it. If I am not valuable enough, they will throw me back in those mines. I will be dead before my sentence is up. And you are a weapon. I am making sure that weapon remains useful to them." The assassins being there was a stroke of luck, making it easy to pin the death on them. If Olka didn't die, he would have run off to the Prosenuthian warden to sell him our information. How long will we last after that? You came out the hero back there, using your valuable skills to root out those dangerous assassins from possibly harming our trusting Alliance special agents. Kepark released his grip on Trelk as he murmured, "You play a dangerous game here, Trelk, above your station." Trelk replied as he readjusted his garments. "On the contrary, this has always been my station. You have been a weapon all your life. Now you must be more than a weapon, or you will not last in your new role." Kepark left Trelk's room pondering on his words. A dark thought crossed his mind as he realized if Trelk killed Olka without a second thought, then sacrificing any other team member who was not an Alliance agent would not be difficult either. But Trelk made the right call, albeit for the wrong reasons. It was true if Trelk played his game, they both remained critical assets to this mission. As their ship touched down on Myplok 3, Gromp wasted no time in briefing Trelk and Kepark on their mission parameters. "Alliance intelligence wants Ford to be kept safe," he stated firmly, his gaze locking with theirs. "We're here to bring him in for questioning, but no violence. We need him alive." With their instructions clear, the group set out to prepare for the arrival of the Muntun Yachter, their minds focused on the task at hand. Upon reaching the station, Gromp reiterated the importance of discretion to Kepark. "Search for anyone you recognize, but make sure you're not seen," he instructed, his voice low and commanding. "Observe and report only. We can't afford any unnecessary casualties." Meanwhile, Patricia turned to Trelk, her expression thoughtful. "Is your next contact on board the station?" she inquired, her curiosity piqued. Trelk nodded in response, his gaze flickering with caution. "Yes, a known female named Vrinma," he explained. "But it's best if Agent Wall doesn't join in the conversation. Vrinma travels with Klopphouse servants, and we don't want to draw unnecessary attention." As Patricia and Trelk stepped into Vrinma's luxurious station hotel, they were immediately struck by the opulence that surrounded them. Vrinma, adorned in elegant attire, greeted them warmly and invited them to take a seat in her reception room, which exuded an air of sophistication. "My dear Trelk, it's been far too long since you visited me last." Trelk embraced her and returned the pleasantry. "Oh, you always give me good reason to return." With 4 Klopp servants and 2 morale security guards present, the scene was one of affluence and power. Trelk engaged in polite conversation with Vrinma, exchanging pleasantries before introducing Patricia. "This is my new associate, Pat. She will be most helpful in my future dealings." Despite her inner discomfort at the sight of the Klopp slaves, Patricia maintained her professional demeanor, determined to focus on the task at hand as she addressed Vrinma. "It is a true delight to meet you. This is my first time in this system, and by far, this is the brightest part of my trip." As the discussion turned to business matters, Trelk revealed the setbacks he had faced due to the assassination of the human senator. Vrinma's expression darkened at the mention of guild work. What have I always told you about never involving oneself in such risky endeavors? Trelk remained resolute, explaining, However, my new venture requires me to contact the Geesin associated with the Tilnom affairs. I mean, this is the role that makes Pat's presence for this purpose invaluable. Vrinma inquired with a genuine interest in a profitable situation. You are proposing a new business venture to recoup your losses? I take it the commissions from your ship captains have gone thin. Trelk offered with a smile. I will give a 20% increase in payment of your usual rates. Vrinma, ever the astute negotiator, countered with, Double. Trelk gave her a thin smile. We both know it will be 50%. Agreed? Vrinma returned the smile. Deal. Now let us dine, Vrinma said as she ordered her klops to serve her guests.